This review is an experiment for the Pulp Fiction rewatchers, for the people who know the dialogue by heart, who can quote the Royale with cheese, recite the Ezekiel passage, and still get goosebumps wondering what glowed inside the briefcase. This isn't for first-time viewers. This is for the ones who feel like they missed something, even after 10 rewatches. Welcome back to Review Lens, and if there's one thing Quentin Tarantino understands, better than story, better than structure, it's this. Mystery lasts longer than answers. So let's find out. He said it himself. The moment you explain something, it narrows it. But ambiguity, that keeps people coming back. So let's go full ambiguity, full speculation. Here's the theory that flips the boxer arc upside down. What if Butch and Marsellus weren't enemies at all? What if this whole thing, the fight, the betrayal, the briefcase, wasn't a feud, but a play? Let's walk it back. Butch is a fading fighter. Marsellus is a kingpin. We're told there's a deal in place. Butch will throw the fight, but he doesn't. He kills his opponent, takes the money, and plans to skip town. Easy read? He double-crossed the boss. Classic betrayal setup. Until it isn't. Because minutes later, Marsellus finds him. Fast. Too fast. A narrow alley in daylight, a freak accident. And just like that, both men are captured. Not by rival gangsters, but by Zed and Maynard. Two random, small-town predators who happen to have a medieval torture dungeon under their pawn shop. Feels off, doesn't it? Then the most crucial scene happens. The one this entire theory hangs on. Butch escapes. He's halfway to freedom, and what does he do? He goes back. For Marsellus, not for money, not to buy silence. He doesn't run off with the briefcase, or the watch, or the girl. He goes back, grabs a samurai sword, not a pistol, not a club, and cuts Marsellus loose. Why? Because it's not about guilt, it's about honor. This isn't two enemies in a tight spot. This is two veterans of a life they've both had enough of, tying off a loose end. Now take a look at the way Marsellus reacts. Read that performance. He's not enraged. He's not bloodthirsty. He doesn't scream for revenge. All he says is, "You lost all your LA privileges." Cold, quiet, final. Not a threat. A retirement notice, like some unspoken deal was just completed. Which brings us to the deeper theory. What if this was the plan all along? Marsellus has enemies. Deeper than hitmen, darker than drug dealers. Enemies you can't shoot from across the club. So he hires Butch, not to throw the fight, but to stage something bigger. A betrayal. A cover. A vanishing act that flushes out the worst of the worst. Maybe Zed wasn't just a fluke. Maybe he was a target. That pawn shop wasn't a trap. It was a ritual. A cleansing. Because let's face it, Marsellus Wallace doesn't seem like a man who forgives lightly. And Zed? He doesn't face justice in a courtroom. He faces it in a basement. Butch delivers it. And then he's gone. Riding a chopper, literally named Grace, into a quiet exit. One last job, one unspoken favor called in from the past. And here's the thing. We don't know how long they've known each other. There's no flashback to a handshake, no voiceover monologue. That's intentional. That's classic Tarantino. He leaves enough silence between the lines for us to invent the rest. Because in this universe, what's unsaid is sacred. Storytelling functions in two speeds. What's on screen and what happens in the gaps between cuts. And Tarantino's a master of the second one. His greatest scenes aren't always what's shown. They're what's implied. Just like the briefcase, just like the miracle in the apartment, just like Marvin's sudden exit. And that brings us to the last shot of Butch's arc. Him, Fabienne, and Grace. Quiet, composed, no money, no vengeance, just presence. Like a man who's carried out the final favor he owed someone from long ago. So if you're still sitting with this, ask yourself, why does Tarantino let Butch live? Why give him the most complete story, the cleanest ending? Maybe because Butch was the only one who finished the job with honor. Not just the fight, the whole history. The pawn shop wasn't just a twist, it was punctuation. So, what if the biggest twist in Pulp Fiction wasn't what's in the briefcase, or who got shot in the bathroom? What if it was the idea that the violence we see, the betrayals, the near deaths, the gunfire, was all part of an unspoken promise? between two old friends. No exposition, no flashback, just respect and escape. That's the kind of theory that doesn't need to be true. It just needs to feel possible. So that's it for our Pulp Fiction alternative universe. What did you think of this? Think we should do it again? Leave a comment and let us know. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more reviews and deep dives into great movies. And as always, see you on the next one. Save us a balcony seat and extra butter on the popcorn.